Peevy's name is synonymous with safe and proper repairs, right? I could give you a long and impressive bio on this guy, but that would only cut into the good stuff that I'm sure we're going to hear from this man, right? A man that really needs no introduction whatsoever, the Vice President of Industry Relations at I-CAR, Mr. Jeff Peevy. Take
Good to
us
have
guys
you
have
with
been
home.
us, Jeff.
amazing. You
What
guys,
do you, what do you think of this
I don't know how you
program?
do it.
Hey,
Yes.
I got a toast for you. That's right. Here's to you, Jeff. We made it.
Yeah, right. My
We're almost
John Wayne
through.
cup.
I like
Yeah.
that one. I
Yeah.
like that better
So,
than mine. So,
well, I kudos to you guys. You have not only brought the energy, but you've kept it going all day long. Uh, this is like an episode of some really good series that you just don't want to stop watching. I have
I
to say, I've
we
had it playing all day. I've been here just almost all day, and
yeah
it's been amazing.
we hear
Thank
that
you for doing that.
yeah we hear from time to time. Somebody is just gonna pop in for an hour or so, and then they just kind of get sucked into the whole thing. It's just you know it's positivity
Yeah,
that just attracts the right kind of people, and
yeah, that's
so
right.
I mean, you've been here today, right?
Yeah.
You've heard. What would you say the future of the collision industry is looking like based on what you heard today?
Well, from this group, it seems pretty bright, and I would say that's because we've created it to be that way.
Mm,
Our perception of ourselves, happiness starts from within. And one of the things that I've just took some notes and observed throughout the day is that there's one thing that everybody had in common that's been a speaker, and I look across who's here, and it stands out the same way, and that is the one thing that everybody seems to have in common is that they're learners.
mm.
And I'm always talking about learning,
Well,
and I know a lot
you're
of people
kind of
probably.
widely known to be the role of of learning, right?
Well, once I realized I couldn't learn myself, I could at least talk about learning.
Yeah. Well, how does positivity contribute to learning?
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And I would one other thing, Dave, I wanted to mention that I did learn today, and that is you moved cars around in your shop parking lot just to make it look like you were busy. I don't know why, but I remembered that one.
And I used to literally have a list of excuses to give my customers too.
Yeah. Well, not that I could relate or anything, but
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I get it, right? But one of the things that ties together, and as you know, I've been studying, or at least trying to study the whole concept of the role of learning, and you just hear that. You look at the names that's here, and ones that are even still here. They're here because they're positive. They have a positive mindset. They're here because they're lifelong learners, and they're willing and capable of learning. And they put that ahead of anything else. And so, when you are a learner and you see the world through a learner's lens, it does increase your motivation.
Mm,
Um, it it certainly practices your ability to focus and concentrate. And then we learners embrace challenge because you see every challenge as an opportunity to learn something. And so you think about that whole mindset of that. These folks here are all learners for that very thing. And there's also some resilience to setbacks because again, you think about you've had some major setbacks and you
mm,
just see it simply as an opportunity to learn and get better. And that's
yeah.
all part of that. And it's sad when a lot of the people we're exposed in this industry are have, as you've said for years, Dave, talked about a victim's mindset and everything is doom and gloom. But boy, that's something you need to turn off and look through a positive lens and do that by learning. But again, a learner's mindset, that positivity, that openness to new ideas are just really key,
Do you think
just absolutely
you
key. And I have one thing then to share, and I probably do this every time. As we've talked, this is an industry, it's commerce. We're all making a living here, but the perception of business, how you see your business, is really crucial to your success. And a lot of people, unfortunately, have been taught to see a business as a mechanism that creates a service or a product. And
Mm.
those businesses, they typically last about 60 or 70 years at best. I mean, we could go down a long list of companies that we grew up with that we would have thought would have never went out of business that did. And they did because they lacked that positive learning culture. And so think of a business as a living thing.
Yeah.
And I made a note while I was listening. Ken and everybody speaking. It's just been an overwhelmingly good day. But so think of a business. If you think of a business as a living thing, then in nature, living things, um, this statement kind of falls true. He who survives has earned the right to live.
Mm.
And you think about the people that you have just heard from all day long, boom, 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 and you look at the list of attendees here. We are all fighting because we are lifelong learners to earn the right to live as our companies, as an industry, and those that do not fight and earn the right to live, their businesses will not survive. They just will not survive. And so I appreciate what you guys were doing. That book right there, if you guys can see it, Ari
Yeah.
DeGoose, The Living Company. Dave, I know I'm always talking about it every time I'm around you. I
All right.
encourage everyone. It's not that bigger, harder. It's not a hard read. It's one of them that's hard to put down. I
Yep.
encourage you
What's the author's name again?
Ari DeGoose.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say.
No, not with a Texas draw. He was a Dutch shell executive who was commissioned by the Shell Corporation to understand why there's companies in Europe that were like 500 and 600 years old. And what he found was they were not stuffy institutional hierarchy companies. They were living companies that insisted on people who had the mindset to learn and to be positive. And they were very different companies. The other book, a little bit harder read, a little bit more difficult. Marcia Connor, Creating a Learning Culture. If you get to look in here, I don't know if you can see it, but I got these little note tabs everywhere.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
you must
I'm
like
just
that one.
crazy about this kind of stuff because it has changed the way I see the world from a professional standpoint and a personal. And then if you want to get a little deeper than that, you notice the books just get bigger, right? This
My
is
God.
Peter Singay
Oh
in
wow.
the Fifth Discipline.
Mm-hmm. Good book.
Now, Peter wrote the foreword for the book, The Living Company. An MIT professor. This is the field book because it's a little more practical. You can also see the little tab notes and everything from studying it. These are all books that have been life
That would
changing to
take me a
me.
year to read that.
Uh,
That's
well, it's
when,
taken me about
when
10.
I wrote this book, right, with a foreword by what's his name, Jeff P.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's only that thick, right? Because that's about what I can read.
Yeah, well, you know what? That book and these books have an awful lot in common. There is a common theme to all of those. Yeah, I think I remember that book. Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. This really takes me into the weekend pretty in a pretty good place.
You feeling pretty fired up, and you got a
Good.
really important role at I-CAR, I know, and you've got a lot of big plans and uh, for I-CAR. It's such an important part of our industry.
Yeah, and I would say as I look at this group, one of the things that's my responsibility is our segment advisory groups. If you're a collision repair shop owner or manager, you're interested in being a part of one of these advisory groups, I'd really like to invite you to be in that. The end of this month, we're at our national conference, and we have a member council. We have these group 1 and 2 segment advisories. Um, there's just a lot. We have to stay super connected to the industry, and being connected means bringing people together face to face as often as we can, and then just listen.
Hmm.
Just listen, and sometimes that's active listening is not the easiest thing. Certainly hasn't been for me. At least you don't believe me, just ask my wife, Marie. But our learning, innovation, and technology team, we've got
That's the only way to shut them up.
yeah, and AI-driven interactive type courses. It's an amazing time for us to be in this industry. It really is. There's so much happening. You think back over the days, over the years, so much is happening. But to me, I've been in this industry full time since 1981, and it's more exciting than ever.
Yeah, it is,
Well,
man. Thank you so much for being the anchor to our big positivity summit today. It means a lot you being here, and it means a lot what you're doing for the industry and your big ideas for I-CAR. We're all excited to see the improvements in that organization with your leadership. Thank you.
Well,
thank you, my friend. Appreciate you
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thanks for doing this.
You know it.
Yeah.